Hey everyone, and welcome back to Truth Serum. We like to go deep here, and today we're diving into a question that's always kind of fascinated me. Is Earth a prison planet?
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is. And to be honest, it's a theory that draws from, well, you look at ancient myths and religious texts, you see it there. Then you look at modern science, you look at UFO sightings.
Right. There are all these threads that sort of come together. It
Exactly.
makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, I think to even think about a prison planet, we need to sort of zoom out first and look at where humanity actually stands in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, I like that zoom out. So like cosmically speaking.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where this thing called the Kardashev Scale, it kind of comes into play. So the scale, it measures how advanced a civilization is based on, well, basically based on how much energy they can actually use.
Okay, so more energy, more advanced.
Yeah, basically. Like a Type I civilization, they can control all the energy on their planet,
The whole planet.
the whole thing. Type 2, they've graduated to their star. They can control the energy of their star.
Wow.
Now, Type 3, that's where it gets really wild. We're talking galactic level energy control. And, well, where are we humans on this scale?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
We're not even Type I yet.
Not even close.
Nope. We're still figuring out, like, fossil fuels and solar panels, baby steps. But imagine a civilization that can, like, build structures around stars to capture their energy.
Like a Dyson sphere. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, those are the kinds of beings we're talking about when we even think about, like, the concept of a cosmic jailer.
Yeah, it's kind of intimidating, isn't it?
It puts things in perspective, for sure. I mean, you start thinking, if they can do that, what else can they do? Could they create a prison planet? I mean, would they want to? And how? Those are the big questions.
Okay, so let's say they can. Let's say they do. And let's assume they have a how. The big question is why? Why would they do that? What's the purpose?
Right. That's the real mystery here. I mean, you look back through history, and it's kind of interesting. You see all these stories across so many cultures about, like, exile or beings coming down from the heavens.
Fallen angels, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It makes you think, what if these stories, these myths, what if they're more than just stories?
Like echoes of something real.
Exactly. Like, what if they're these distorted memories of how we even got here to Earth in the first place?
You're blowing my mind here. So like Adam and Eve being kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
Right. Or those fallen angels being cast out of heaven. What if that's like a hint, a clue to our real origins?
So we were like demoted? Is that what you're saying?
It's a possibility, isn't it? It's a possibility. And it ties into this idea that the prison, it might not even be a physical thing. What if it's spiritual or technological or even something we can't even grasp yet?
Okay, so we're not necessarily talking about like bars and cells.
No, not necessarily. It's more about limits, boundaries. Like, think about the vast distances between stars, the speed of light, the dangers of space itself.
Yeah, those aren't exactly inviting.
Right. So it's like maybe we're in this carefully designed playpen and we haven't quite figured out how to climb out yet.
But then you have the whole UFO phenomenon, right? Like, are they the wardens making sure we stay put?
Well, even the Pentagon, they're admitting there are things up there we just don't understand.
Those videos, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty wild.
Exactly. And yeah, some people definitely think those UFOs, they might be the ones making sure we don't escape.
So, okay. Let's say for a minute we're in this cosmic prison. Why? Why are we here?
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Why? Well, there are a lot of theories, and they get pretty out there. One is that, well, maybe humanity is just destructive.
Like a bill in a china shop.
Yeah, kinda. Maybe we're a danger to ourselves, maybe to other civilizations, who knows? So the idea is we're quarantined here on Earth to protect everyone else.
Okay, so we're the bad guys.
Maybe not bad, but maybe a bit too rowdy for the galactic neighborhood.
I can see that. But if that's the case, those watching us, they'd have to be pretty advanced, right, to pull that off, I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Ethically and technologically. I mean, way beyond us. And it brings us back to that Kardashev scale. Think about a Type 3 civilization, controlling energy on a galactic scale. What could they do? Could they bend space? Could they manipulate time? It's mind-blowing.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. But let's be real for a second. A lot of this prison planet stuff, it's just theories, right?
Sure. I mean, ancient myths could just be stories, right? UFOs, maybe they're just things we don't understand yet. Maybe we haven't cracked faster than light travel because we're just not there yet.
Exactly. So where's the line between an open mind and just, I don't know, believing everything you hear?
Well, that's where critical thinking comes in, doesn't it? You got to look at the evidence or lack of evidence. But you also got to stay open to the possibility that there are things out there, things we might not understand yet.
So how do you even approach something like this? It's so big.
It is big, yeah. But I think just asking the question, that's a start. Just grappling with it, with these concepts that seem impossible. It's got to be a step in the right direction, Matt.
So just by talking about it, we're pushing the boundaries a little.
I think so.
Yeah.
Expanding our awareness, looking at things from different angles, even if those angles seem, I don't know, a little out there.
Okay, I like that. So let's say, just for fun, we are in this cosmic prison. How do we break out?
The million-dollar question. Some people say technology is the key. Figure out faster than light travel. Or some super weapon, I don't know.
But wouldn't that just be playing by the jailer's rules?
Yeah. Yeah. It's fighting fire with fire, and is that really what we want to be doing? It brings up a lot of ethical questions. If we got that powerful, what's to stop us from becoming the oppressors?
Ooh, good point. Okay, so if not brute force, then what? Is there a more, I don't know, peaceful way out?
Maybe the real escape is not physical but mental. A change in consciousness.
So not breaking out of the prison, but changing how we see it.
Exactly. What if the bars? What if they're just illusions? What if the real key is unlocking our minds?
Yeah.
Seeing that we're all connected to everything.
Oh, okay, that's deep. So you're saying the real prison? It's not out there, it's in here. Tap said.
It's a thought, isn't it? And it leads to some other interesting questions, like what if all the stuff we struggle with, the wars, the environmental problems, all of it, what if it's not random? What if it's like a test?
Like a cosmic obstacle course
Yeah.
to help us evolve.
Yeah. Think about it. If you wanted to help a species grow, wouldn't you give them challenges?
Yeah.
Force them to learn and adapt and overcome?
That's an interesting way to look at it. So the question is, are we passing the test?
That's for each of us to decide, isn't it? But hey, the fact we're even having this conversation, asking these questions, it's got to count for something, right?
Okay, I like that. So where do we go from here? If the prison is our mindset, how do we break free?
Awareness is a good start. Seeing the limitations we put on ourselves, challenging our assumptions about what's possible, what's real.
So keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding our consciousness.
Exactly. And remembering we're not alone in this. We're all connected, part of something much bigger.
That's a beautiful thought. It's also, well, it's a lot to take in. So where do we start?
Start with curiosity, I think. Question everything. Explore new ideas. Embrace the unknown.
Something everyone can do, right?
Absolutely. That thirst for knowledge, for understanding, that might be the key to a whole new kind of freedom.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I'm curious. What do you think, listeners? Have we convinced you? Is Earth a prison planet? Or do you see things differently? Okay, so prison planet. We've really gone deep on this one from, the size of the universe all the way to, super advanced aliens with crazy technology. It's a lot.
And we really dug into that idea, that maybe, just maybe, we don't see the whole picture, and all the things we deal with as humans, maybe they're not just random. Maybe they're part of some, I don't know, some bigger plan.
Definitely a lot to think about. And even if we accept that, like, okay, maybe we are in this cosmic prison, it brings up even more questions. How do we live our lives differently? Does it change our purpose, our responsibility to the planet, to each other? I don't know.
Yeah, those are big ones. And I don't think there's a simple answer. But I do think this whole idea, this prison planet idea, it makes us look at everything differently. Like, what's possible? What if our choices have consequences bigger than we can even imagine?
So almost like we got to step up, We're responsible not just for us, not just for Earth, but for, I don't know, the whole cosmic game or something.
Exactly. Maybe we don't get the rules, but we're still playing, right? So maybe we should try to play with intention, with awareness.
So were you saying we should all start meditating? Trying to talk to the aliens in charge?
No, not necessarily. But maybe it makes us think about what's important, Our values, our purpose. Maybe we try to be more compassionate, more understanding, more connected to each other, to the world around us.
That's a good way to look at it. But what about the whole free will thing? If we're being watched, controlled by someone else, do we even have a choice?
That's a question that's been around forever, way before prison planets. And honestly, I don't have the answer. But even if things are influencing us, we can still choose how we react, how we live within those boundaries.
So it's like, okay, maybe we're in a cell, but we can choose, I don't know, what posters to put up on the walls.
Huh, yeah, something like that. Maybe we don't get to choose the walls, but we can choose what we do inside.
That's actually, yeah, that's kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway here for all of us? I mean, who just went on this wild prison planet ride? What do we want them to, walk away with?
Keep an open mind, that's the big thing. Don't be afraid to question, to explore, to think about things, even if they seem, I don't know, a little weird, a little scary. We're just starting to figure out this whole universe thing, you know?
Right. And hey, even if it is a prison, it's a pretty amazing one. I mean, look around. It's full of beauty and wonder and potential,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So let's make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe, who knows, maybe someday we'll figure out how to break free. From everything holding us back, both out there in the universe and in here at Tap's head, and maybe, just maybe, we'll finally understand what it all means.
Now that's a journey I want to be on. And hey, thanks to everyone out there for joining us on Truth Serum. We hope this deep dive into the prison planet, well, we hope it gave you something to think about, some new ways to look at things, and maybe even a little bit of hope. And if you enjoyed this one, let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more, for more mind-blowing explorations of the universe and beyond. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, keep searching for the truth.